And I'm going to go over 4.1 and 4.2. 4.1 and 4.2 basically covers correlation and causality. Correlation and causality. Okay? Correlation has a direct relationship with what? Slope. Okay? So you need to highlight that. Are y'all going to come up here and get some of these donuts or not?
Oh, what's going on? I didn't poison.
Oh, they're doing that. They're doing that thing when you take somebody out and they, oh, I'm not hungry.
Oh,
and then they go home and then they pig out.
Oh, okay, I get it.
I can't stand somebody like that.
I understand. That's
Come on. Come on, let's go. Get up here and get some donuts. Don't be sitting there like, oh, I'm not hungry.
Now you got a sword.
Yeah. The other one is just a real. Oh, there they go.
Oh, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'll just sit here and eat my carrot. You ever seen that commercial? The two moms are sitting at a game, a soccer game, and she said, "What's that?" "Oh, that's my protein." She has nuts and cheese, and yeah, here's my cheese, and I got. She reaches down and gets her handful of grass. You ever seen that? No way. I just sit here and eat my carrot.
Yeah, what happened with the eyes?
I'm not gonna eat one.
You're not?
Nope.
Hey, he called us out.
I stay away from carbs.
I'll just eat my carrot.
No, I'm gonna go home and eat ham and eggs, but I ain't gonna eat no carbs.
Thank you for the number.
Hey. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm gonna eat my carrot.
I just eat my carrot.
That's that female thing. I don't know why females do that. You go out on a date, go to a restaurant, order steak, and oh, I'm not hungry. I'll just eat a salad and water, or whatever. All right. So let's go over a little bit of algebra pertaining to the slope. One, you got to be able to calculate the slope. M is equal to delta y over delta x, which is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now everybody should remember this from pre-algebra and algebra 1 and algebra 2. There's three types of questions you're going to be given. One, there's going to be a graph and a line and you find the points. Two, there's going to be a graph, a line, and they give you 2 points. Like this is 0, 5, and this is 3, 0. Okay, they give you points. And then the third one is no graph, and they give you 2, 3, 8, and 7. Which way do we read?
Left to right.
So this is x sub 1, y sub 1. This is x sub 2, y sub 2. This is x sub 1, y sub 1. This is x sub 2, y sub 2. Plug in what? Plug and chug. We'll do the number 3 over there. Parenthesis minus parenthesis over parenthesis minus parenthesis. Now, I've got several degrees. If you come to my office 2 years from now, walk into my office and say, Hubert, I got a question to ask you. Can you find the slope of this line? Sure. I'm going to write those parentheses. And I've got 3 degrees. How many degrees do you have? You don't have to answer that. But should you be using parentheses if I use parentheses? Yes, you should. Why? Because there's 2 things that y'all can't stand. One is a fraction, and the other is a positive and a negative. And those 2 things will screw you up if you do not use those parentheses. So, use them. All right, what's y sub 2?
7.
So you plug and chug. Y sub 1.
3.
And then, what's x sub 2?
8.
And x sub 1?
2.
And then it's just simple math. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 2 is?
6.
And reduce that 2/3.
2/3.
And that is your slope. Now that is a review of something that all of you should know. That's the first thing that you need to know. The second thing you need to know is called point-slope equation. The point-slope equation is just as simple. Unless you had somebody totally confuse you with it, and then I'll unconfuse you. 2 is the point-slope equation. Now again, to go over this, you need to go over this video, and there's a Math 103 video. It's called Correlation and Causality. And then the 120 video that I do in the morning has a causality. So there's 3 videos out there that has this on it. Point slope equation is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Now in order to do this point slope equation, what do I got to have?
A point.
A point.
And a slope.
That's a miracle. Okay? Now again, it could give you 3 different problems. It could give you one like this, that you find the points. 2, one like this, and they give you the points. Or 3, like we did before, 2, 3, 8, 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in, I'm going to use my slope of 2/3. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say, put it in blue. M is equal to 2/3. That's from the previous right here. And the point I'm going to use is 2 and 3. Now somebody tell me why I picked 2 and 3 and I didn't pick 8 and 7.
For the rows.
Keep it what?
Simple.
Keep it simple. Always use the smallest numbers. Could you use either one? Yes. I'm using 2 and 3 because it's easier math. So we rewrite. Which way do we read? Left to right. So that means this is x sub 1 and this is what? Y sub 1. So that means I've got to put parentheses. Y minus parentheses equals parentheses times x minus parentheses. And plug and chug. 2 goes right here. 3 goes right here. And 2/3 go right there. Now simplify that last step. Distribute the 2/3 and carry the 3 to the other side. Do that. All of you should be able to do that. So 2/3 x minus 4/3. 2/3 x minus 4/3. And bring that 9/3 over. Because 9 over 3 is what?
3.
3. Good job. And your final answer is y is equal to 2/3 x. And what's negative 4 plus 9?
5.
5/3. So that is the equation that you get. And you always use the point slope equation when they say find an equation. When you see that in the directions, you're going to use the point slope equation. So take your handy dandy highlighter. You need to highlight that. Now that's the algebra you need for correlation and causality. Now we're going to talk about correlation and causality. What in the heck it means. Now, I said correlation has a direct relationship to slope. So let's talk about correlation. So I'm going to hit the correlation. What is correlation? Correlation deals with more like, is there a pattern? Okay? Do you see a pattern? Do you see a tendency? How do you spell tendency? Is that tendency with an N? Okay. Do you see a tendency? Okay. Do you see something in the scatter plot, okay? Because most tendency, is that right? Is there an N in there? It's an E?
Yes.
Tendency. Okay. Thank you. But there is an N in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Tendency. Okay. Tendency. All right. Correlation pattern. And it does have a direct relationship, positive and negative, with what? Slope. In other words, if you have a negative correlation, that means you have a negative slope. If you have a positive correlation, that means you have a positive slope. The numbers are not direct because you can have a slope, you can have any what? Any number. 2/3, 5/8, 10, 20, 26. You can have any number. But for correlation only goes from -1 to +1. With 0 being no correlation. Okay, so correlation, the only thing that is the same with correlation and slope is the sign. Okay, if you have a negative slope, it means negative correlation. If you have a positive slope, it means positive correlation. But that does not mean that the numbers don't line up. Because a while ago we had 2/3. You could have a slope of 32. But with correlation, you can only go from -1 to what? +1. -1 is a strong negative correlation. +1, what do you think it is?
Strong positive.
Positive correlation, yes. What if you have 0.01? That's a weak positive correlation. What if you have -0.05? That's a weak. The more horizontal it is, the more 0 correlation you have. Okay, just like slope. Okay. Now, what is correlation? It's seeing a pattern. Usually, you're going to be given data, and the data is going to be given in some kind of what we call a chart plot or a scatter plot. We're going to see these in just a minute. This looks like a negative correlation. This looks like a 0 correlation. And this looks like a what? Those are what you're going to be asked on the test. Does it look like a negative correlation? Does it look like a positive correlation? And what determines how strong it is? The steepness. Steepness is a direct correlation to whether it's weak or whether it's strong. If it's very steep, it's a very strong correlation. If it's very shallow, meaning close to horizontal, it's very weak. Now, what is correlation? Causality. Causality, and I use this all the time in my classes. Cause and effect. And I use the Matrix, the movie, the Matrix, the second Matrix movie, where they go into the restaurant and the guy's talking French and he's saying, I know why you're here. He goes, everything has cause and effect. I drink too much wine, I have to pee. Okay? And that's stuck in my mind. Why? Because that is what causality is. Causality is something that what? Causes something. Okay? Now, does it have anything to do with correlation? Yes, it could. But does correlation mean causality? No. And I'll give you an example. Let's say that I just want to go out here. Let's say that I work at Amstar and I pick a movie and I chart a movie, and let's say it's Con Air. Okay? That's got Nicolas Cage in it. He's a veteran that gets thrown in jail for beating a guy to a pulp, and he gets out and he has a bunny and don't touch the bunny. Y'all seen that movie? Oh yeah, right. Y'all don't watch movies. Y'all watch cartoons. Anyway, but you don't watch Wile E. Coyote. But anyway, Con Air, and this is the way the movie looks. The ticket sales for Con Air when it came out looked something like this. Okay? And we see a positive what?
Correlation.
But at the same time, I have a night job at Anderson Hospital, pushing broom, whatever, night job. And yeah, well, I can't say anything else. If I say anything else, I'll offend people. So I can't say janitor, I can't say custodial engineer. So I just say pushing a broom, okay? So anyway, and I say, and I'm going through the trash, and I see I'm going through the trash, and I see a file, and it says suicide rates. Suicide, I don't know how to spell suicide. Rates. Okay? Suicide rates, the same time this movie was going on. And it has a what?
Negative correlation.
That's positive correlation.
Oh.
So it has the same correlation. Oh my God. So Nicolas Cage movies causes suicide. Yes or no?
Not necessarily.
No. Correlation does not all the time, does not mean all the time that there's causality. Write that down. Correlation does not equal causality all the time. Remember, what does correlation tell us? It tells us that there's some kind of pattern or tendency. But that's with the individual what? The individual event. But if I try to tie these two together, then that's causality. Causality, correlation does not mean causality. In this case, is there causality? No. But what about the weight of your car and gas mileage?
Yes.
Well, y'all knew that one right off the bat. Because the heavier the car, the what? The less gas mileage or more gas you need to go somewhere. All right, so that does mean causality. You drink too much, whatever. You have to. I was going to say have to pee. But, you're talking, I guess, from an addict's perspective. The first step is to acknowledge the problem. Okay. All right. So anyway, but you take something like what I just said. You take the weight of a car, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and as the weight of the car goes up, the gas mileage, not the gas that you burn, but gas mileage. There's two different things, and and it got me this morning, mileage. The gas mileage goes what? Down. Okay? That is causality because one causes the other. You drink too much, you have to pee. That causes. There has to be a cause. Nicolas Cage movies, you may not like Nicolas Cage as an actor, but Nicolas Cage movies do not cause suicide. But there is a correlation. So correlation does not necessarily always mean causality. Capiche? Now, there's one other thing that you need to know about correlation, and that's called the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. And it is from -1 to what? +1 with 0 being in the middle. And the correlation coefficient is called R. Now the formula to get the correlation coefficient is ludicrously tedious. Okay? You have to have S of Y, S of X, and S of Y. Ignore that in your book. Ignore it in your homework because your calculator or your Excel spreadsheet will do it. I show you that in the videos, but evidently one of y'all only watched the videos, the other 20 didn't. So let's go ahead and look at that. And I think I can do it with the questions that y'all sent because I think one or two of them have to do with correlation coefficient. Hold on a minute. Tomorrow, Boeing is going to be here. And that's a big deal, okay? Boeing is going to be here downstairs in the conference room, and they're going to be talking, and they're going to be touring the lakeside facility and all that good stuff. And guess what they're here for? Advances in education, okay? Technical education. I asked the director downstairs if he had his posters ready. He said, no, we're not showing posters. We're actually doing it on the computer. I said, you're a racist. Anyway, the whole point is, whenever you disagree with somebody, you're a racist. So I just called him a racist. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting that the Boeing Corporation is going to be at Tri-County Tech, and he's not going to show posters. So
He was being sarcastic.
yeah, I just think that's awful. All right, 4.1. Let's see if this is the question I want. I might skip one or two of these questions and go back to it. Okay, okay, what is the first one? A strong negative what?
Correlation.
A strong negative correlation. This is a very weak correlation. And this is a very, very strong. This is almost like -1. This is like -0.6. And this is like almost 0. Okay? So we'll go back to this one. I don't want to go over this one right now. I want to go over the one that has the stuff that I want to show you. So let me click on this one. That's not it. We'll go over that one later. I'm not going over it right now. Let me find it. Just give me a second. Come on. Okay, this is good enough. Good enough for government work. Okay, first of all, I'm going to copy this in Excel. I'm going to do it in Excel, and I'm going to do it on the calculator. That way everybody will know how to do it on those two things. I do not want you to do it by hand as far as the R factor, because you thought standard deviation was aggravating to do by hand. The S of X and S of Y is extremely, and the R factor is extremely tedious, and I'm not going to do it, okay? So that's all we're going to do there. Now, if y'all want to, we can, but I kind of figure if I tell you it's tedious and you don't need to do it, I hopefully won't have any, oh yes, I really would like to know how to do it. I don't think there's no going to be anybody. Mr. Polar probably maybe. Mr. McClure, I really would like to learn how to do it. Don't ever get married to somebody like that. Okay, so write those down. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in the Excel spreadsheet first, and then we'll do it in the calculator. So don't wait until we start on the calculator to pull your calculator out. Go ahead and get it out now. You don't have to twirl it around on your finger like a basketball, but go ahead and get it out. Okay, so I'm going to highlight. This is how you do it on an Excel spreadsheet. You highlight the two columns, then you go up to Insert. So you need to be writing down Insert if you don't know how to use it. Hit Insert. And then go over to where it says Charts and pick the bottom center chart, and where it says Scatter, Insert Scatter, and click on the arrow, and there's your scatter plot right there. And I'll make it big so everybody can see it. So that's why these videos are important, so you can like rewind and like go over again for the one person that's using it. Okay, so there is my 5 points. That is called a scatter plot. Now, what you do next is you click on the dot one time, And it should turn them to X's like that. Everybody with me? Now right click on the X and hit add trend line. And there is your line, but that's not it. That's your best fit. You ever heard of line of regression or your best fit, line of best fit? That's it. You do not want to do the hand math that goes with this. You're talking about half a page of nothing but columns, like standard deviation, only it crosses the whole top of the page. Okay, there's no use in it. Now, go down here, and this is a trick learned in the war. You click display equation and display R squared. And I'll move it over here where y'all can see it, and I highlight it so y'all can see it. Let's put it like, there you go. So write that down because that is what is that? That is your line of regression. That is your best fit line. We have a very high, not a very high, we'll see that in just a minute. I have R squared. What do I need? I need R. So somebody take the square root of 0.9794, and that is your R, which is what you need for your homework and your test. Then give me 4 digits, please. What?
9896.
I'm sorry, what?
9896.
So would you say that this is a very strong what? Correlation. That is what you need. And this is your equation for this line of best fit. I'm going to show you how to put that on your calculator, but you need to write that down too. Capiche? Now that's what they should ask you for. If they ask you for anything more than that, as far as calculating, just don't do it because I won't hold that against you. I think I took all the by hand, I think I took those out of the homework. I did that first semester we had this book because there was no sense in doing all that tedious math. Okay, now we're going to go to the handy dandy calculator. So let me pull up the handy dandy calculator, and you're going to go under Stat and Edit, and you're going to punch in these numbers. Stat and Edit. So Stat and Edit, and I'm going to go over here and type in 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. And then over here, I'll type in 5, 8, 13, 17, and 20. So let's go ahead and type those in. I'll get this back the way it was there. Everybody good? All right, now you hit Stat and go over here to Calculate and go down to number 4. Linear regression. Y is equal to mx plus b. They put an A there. That's stupid. Nobody calls it A. It's M. And hit second 1, which is L1, comma, second L2. Now some calculators automatically default. If you want to see if yours does that, then you do that on your time. I'm just going ahead and hit L1, comma, L2 because I don't want to get a syntax error, then have to go back around. So I'm just doing it now. I don't know if this is ancient. This is TI-83, so it's ancient. Enter. And look at there, 2.9535, 2.9535. It's a miracle. Minus 3.3488, 3.3488. Now, where's the other stuff, Hubert? Well, go to, if you have a calculator that doesn't show it, you go to second 0, catalog, and you scroll down and write this down, diagnostic on. It's in the D's. Diagnostic on. There it is right there. Hit it one time and hit it again until it says done. And now go back and hit Stat, Calculate, linear regression, second L1, comma, second L2, and hit enter. And now it gives you the R, which is 0.9896. 0.9896. So now you can do it on the calculator and you can do it on the spreadsheet. And now you've got this, along with the other, I showed the other classes how to do this also. So you got several videos that show you how to do this. Capiche? All right, now let's graph it. So go to second, y is equal. Hit enter with start plot, hit enter. On, hit enter. And then go to the scatter plot. It already's got it there. It defaults to the scatter plot and it defaults to L1 and L2. So all you have to hit after that is graph. Now, it does a terrible job, so you have to hit zoom and go down to stat, which is 9. Hit enter. There's your scatter plot. Now you want to go to y is equal and type in 2.9535 x minus 3.3488 and graph. Look at there. It's a miracle. And if you look, hold on. Some days I just need to just quit. Okay, well the whole point is this one dot is above the line. Everybody see that? Now go back to your graph. Is it a match? Well, I'm about ready. I'm about ready to drink some tequila. All right, see that one is above and it's above. So, and that one is a little bit below, that one is a little bit below right there. So now you can match it up. Okay, so let's match it up. Let's go to the question. Which one does it look like? Well, it doesn't look like, well, it might look like that one. That one looks like it's above, so it's, oh, it's B. It's already been marked. Okay, let me erase this. Okay, and which one looks, that one looks like it because it's going below that dot. And then there is your slope and your y-intercept. I don't know why they're asking you to graph it again. That's silly. And then what is the R factor?
0.9896.
Okay, it says round of 3 decimal places. So give me 3. 0.98 what?
0.990.
Sorry. And that should be it. Okay, it says it's not. So let's see what they want. 4. Okay, I have no idea where they're getting 4. That's they're wanting that S of X and S of Y. That's what they're wanting. I have no idea what that is. I mean, you don't want to, let's go to view an example, I'll show you. Continue, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da, there it is. You got to take the R factor and multiply, but if you don't have S of X and S of Y, how did they do S of X and S of Y? Where is it? Oh, that's great. They don't even give you S of X and F of Y. You're just supposed to know it. There it is. And that's the R factor, which we don't have to do that one. Yeah, but they're not showing you how to do this. Yeah. I'll get back with you on that. You see, okay, here we go. There's the math behind it right there. And I'm not going to make you do that. So we're not going to worry about F and G. And we're not talking about major points off your, and I'll make it up to you by giving you points on your homework. Okay? we're gonna stay away. Just ignore that. Just put numbers in it. I'm not even worried about that because that's just too much trouble. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But the thing I want you to be able to do, I want you to be able to find the scatter plot. I want you to be able to graph the scatter plot. I want you to graph the trend line, and I want you to give me R. That's what I want. All right, so let's do a nerd. I think I got another one in here. No, that's 5.1. 5.1 is not. So let's do, well, it's going, I'll find one in 5. Was it 4.2?
It was 4.0.
4.2. So let me go over to the 4.2 homework. 4.2 and preview. Let me find one right quick. Okay, there's one. Just do this one, and I just want you to do, I don't care what the directions say. I want you to do a chart plot or a scatter plot. I want you to find the line, the trend line. I want you to find the equation and find R. Okay? So with that being said, I thought I hit, hold on, open in Excel. I'll pull it up where you can see it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Give me a second. And you can do it on your calculator or you can do it on your laptop. I don't care. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to insert chart plot or scatter plot. Make it big where y'all can see it.
How do we graph the line on the?
You click on X. Now you talking about the calculator or the computer?
Yeah, calculator.
The calculator, you have to go back in and type it in.
Oh, okay.
And I'll show you in just a second. Right click, add trend line, and hit display equation and display R factor, or R squared. And I'll pull that over here and I'll make it big for you. Why does it do that? I did that for me this morning. I made it big twice. There. All right, write that down. And you see that one point, you got one above, one below, and one above, and one above. Ms. Poor, you can't work your calculator on your phone, or are you just texting someone? I'll remember that when you ask me a question. All right, so Now let's pull up the handy dandy calculator. And let's type in the numbers. So I hit Stat, Edit, and 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Now I go over to the Y and type in 5, 7, 7, 13, 15. 5, 7, 7, 13, 15. Everybody with me? Hit Stat and Calculate and Linear Equation. I type in second L1, comma, second L2. And I do that no matter what calculator I'm using. Hit Enter and write that information down. Let's see if it matches.
I got something totally different.
Uh-oh. Well, 2.04. Check your numbers, because sometimes you accidentally hit something. Check your numbers. Let me pull this over. There you go. Check your numbers, because the spreadsheet and this one is saying the same.
My A and B are switched.
I don't know how you did that. See? Break an anvil with a banana. Y'all can break an anvil with a banana. I'm just kidding.
Wait, which one goes first? Maybe I did L1 and L2 the wrong way.
You might have. L1 goes first. Should be Shift L1, comma, L2. Okay, now you want to go to your handy dandy graph. So let's graph it. We already graphed it, but second, we haven't. Second, stat plot. It's already on and it's already set. So all you got to do is hit graph. There it is. Now it's still got our old line in it. So we need to go to y is equal. And we need to type in our new line, which is 2.0465 minus 3.6977. And graph. Okay, I typed in something wrong. Let me see what I typed in wrong. Go to, I got what?
2 decimals.
Thank you. There we go. And something's still not right.
You forgot to put the eggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. I think it's about time for me to quit. Oh Lord, now I got to insert, second insert minus. Now let's try it. It's a miracle. And now you've got your line. Now it's not showing everything. So if you need to zoom out a little bit. Just put the center right down there on the line, right below the line, right about there. Hit enter. There it is. And now you can go in zoom box and put the left-hand corner or the right-hand corner. I don't know how many of you are on the calculator drill team in high school, but some people don't know how to do this, so I'm showing you. Zoom box. Some of y'all named y'all's calculator in high school and had a little bed for it when you went home and stuff like that.
Can you help me figure out the L1?
No, I'm off the clock now. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
There it is. And all you got to do now is just find the match up with all 4 of them above and 1 dot where? Below. Matched it up. That's how you do those questions.
Did you go over the steps and how to do the
I'm sorry, what?
graph? Did you go over
Yeah.
the steps how to get to the graph?
Okay, how to graph it?
No, the steps,
Okay, the graph the line or graph the dots?
Yes.
everything.
Okay. All right. So you go to stat
Okay.
and go to, I'm sorry, you don't go to stat. You go to second y equals. And then it should say already on, but if it doesn't, click on number 1. And then make sure you click on, hit enter where you click on. And then it's ready to go because everything is defaulted. All you have to hit now is graph button. And it's going to graph those 5 dots. Did it not graph it? Yes or no? Did it graph it?
Mine didn't.
Huh.
It won't put little dots on it.
It what?
It won't put little dots up on it like you have. It just blank.
Okay, hit zoom standard. Hit zoom standard. And then hit zoom, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now hit zoom, what is it, 9 or 0? 9. Hit zoom 9.
Okay.
Okay, now, if you want to graph the line, you hit y is equal, and you type it in right there. 2.0465x minus 3.6977, and hit graph. And there she be. I've been watching too much Pirates of the Caribbean. I've binge watched all 5 of them. Savvy?
Coming out with another one.
Are they?
But I heard they Johnny Depp, they
Oh, if you take Johnny Depp out of it, you might as well forget it.
they fired him.
They fired him. What for?
He got into it with the director or something. That's what it-
Well, he has gotten a little bit on the spoiled brat side.
It's still doing the opposite.
I have no idea what you're doing. We're gonna have to look at it while we're doing a test question. I'll look at it with just a minute. Everybody been able to graph now? Okay, I'll get to yours in just a minute, okay? All right, now I'm gonna jump off of this and we're gonna look at some test questions. The test questions are not that difficult. This test is not that hard, okay? I'm looking at the time. I only got like 15 minutes, but I'm not gonna do the bonus questions. I'll pull up go to course tools, assignment, and test. Well, somebody's supposed to ask me when's it due before I pull it up. So that's what y'all do, right? Y'all ask me when is it due before I pull it up. That's the whole thing, right? So let me shut this down so somebody can ask me that before I pull it up. Okay. Unit 2 test. Due when? Okay, so click on that, preview. I'm just going to go through it. You look and see, because we'll probably go through it again Thursday, because I'm running out of time. All right, golf ball is randomly selected. This is just like the marble. Remember the marbles that I had in the bag? This is just like that, okay? Or, what does or mean? Additive law, Hubert. That's right, class, additive law. So make sure you use the additive law. What's the total?
10.
You sure about that, Willis? 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 10 is 19. So that's 19.
Bless you.
And then, how many black?
5.
And how many brown?
4.
And that's your probability. What does this say?
That's no round.
So does that mean put in a fraction?
No.
Y'all do it. Okay, so we'll answer this one because it's easy. What's 9 over 19, somebody? Give me 3 decimal places. 0.4 what? Okay, next. I want to there's a couple of questions that's a little bit tricky, okay? I don't see if it pulls it up like it did the morning classes. Make sure you watch the morning video because there was 2 questions that were kind of tricky, and one of them wasn't tricky, one of them was. But in probability, a blank is a process that can repeat it with the results uncertain. That's experiment. Or if you're not from around here, experiment. Okay? Experiment starts with S. Anyway. Okay, that's a bonus question that y'all don't read. That's a bonus question y'all don't read. I actually had somebody ask me one of those bonus questions this morning. It was in your calculus class. They asked me that question. Somebody asked, what do I do to your test? Do I average the test or do I take the highest one?
What did you say?
I didn't say that. I said I had no idea.
I heard somebody asking you, is all the tests online?
Yeah. Nope. I love to do in-class tests. That way I can take a long time to get them back to you. Takes a long time for me to grade them. Yeah. Y'all can break a handful with a banana. In a certain lottery, an urn contains 1 to 37. 4 balls are picked. $1 bet. So this is a fraction. They want it in scientific notation. Okay, so you have to write it like it is in your book. I mean, your calculator. So, do it. 37. Now wait, let's make sure. One of them's order. Be careful. I didn't put that question on there. One of them is order. I don't think this one, yeah. Order does not matter. So this is combination. So somebody do 37 combination 4 and put a 1 on top of it and do the math and tell me what you get. Round to the nearest 100. So I need 2 decimal places.
Can you make it a little bigger?
No, not on this. No, I can't. I can't do it on this.
Can you press Control plus?
Control, I'll try it. Because this is a test. They don't let you do things with tests like they do with homework. Okay, so 37, combination 4. Somebody give me it's supposed to be blank, point, blank, blank times 10 to the exponent. What do you get? Oh, Lord, I'll just do it myself. This is how you should do it for those that are still working. 1 divided by, well, I got to do the combination first. What is it, 37? Math, combination, 4. Is that what it is? And here's a trick I learned in the war. 1 divided by second subtraction symbol, a negative down at the bottom, and enter. Y'all must not have been on the calculator drill team in high school. No, that's a good thing. Listen, the first semester I taught intermediate. I said, okay, we need to get our calculators out. And it was like the calculator drill team. Everybody did this. They took the cover off at the same time. That's where calculator drill team came from. I said, good God. But now we're getting away from that. A lot of the high schools are not being, hopefully, we got so many dingleberries out there that can't even make change at a cash register. Well, they can't. They can't make change. You ask them to spell mom backwards and they look at you like, huh? 1.5, 1 times, you hit shift, 8, gives the dot, 10, shift, up arrow, what, -5? Next. Okay, which of the following variables have positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation? Number of children in the household under the age of 3 and expenditures on diapers.
Negative.
Okay, well, the number of children in the household under the age of 3, as that goes up, what's the number of diapers going to do?
Go up.
It's going to go up.
Positive.
Positive correlation. I think I read that question right.
Yeah.
Number of children in the household under the age of 3.
Yeah.
Well, you can only have 1, 2, 3. You can only have 1, 2, and 3, you know, unless you shut up. We just won't talk about that. We'll just say stair step. How about that? I think it's positive. Next. You suspect a 6-sided die to be loaded. What does loaded mean? Not fair, Hubert. That's right, class. You roll it 400 times, and this is what you get. Is it loaded?
Yes.
Why do you say that? Because all these should be what? Similar. You should have 35, 38, 47, 45, 46, 49. You shouldn't have 112 or 109. Something's wrong. So which one is it? I'm not gonna read them. Which one is it? It should be A, because everybody should have similar outcomes. Next. This is the birth control question. If something is 0%, does that mean it's impossible?
No.
No. And they want you to put 0 there. That's the dumbest part of the question. Put 0. Okay, I'm trying to hurry. I want to get to the question that is somewhat tricky. Okay, what does and mean? Or means adding, and means multiplication. I see about four of y'all are going, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? I'm going to start teaching like this. Y'all get me. I ain't kidding you. I'll just eat my carrot. Okay, 0.6 and 0.7 is point what? 4,2, you multiply. And means, and only one equal to 100. Please don't get that one wrong. True or false in probability model, the sum and probabilities of all outcomes must equal 1. True.
True.
That's the question. I hadn't seen that one. That one didn't come up this morning. And a linear correlation between two variables is negative. If the correlation is negative, what can be said about the slope?
It's negative.
Nobody better get that wrong. If you do, you don't what? Tell anybody. I'm trying to find that quick, tricky question. I haven't seen it yet. Suppose 10 cars start a race. How many ways can the top 3? Order or no order? Order. This is the trifecta question, the horse question, same thing. This would be 10 permutation of 3. Write that down. I'm not going to do it because we're running out of time and some of y'all are going to start convulsing. And I'm trying to get through. I think this is it. No, it's not. Okay, determine whether the scatter diagram indicates a linear relation. If the relation is linear, determine whether it indicates positive, negative. Okay, what is it? It's very, not very strong, but it's somewhat strong, positive correlation. So I don't know which one that is. Y'all read them. I can't read that fast. Yes, there is a linear correlation. So have a linear and have a linear. So it's either A or B. Line, a straight line. Okay, so it's B. There is a positive association. Okay, next. And that's not it. I got 5 more. Let's see if we can find it. This is the one we just did. We just did this one. So you should be able to get that one. That's not it. That's the same one we went over a while ago. Okay, this is a question that y'all screw it up. No math involved hardly whatsoever. Okay, but y'all screw it up. Amble, banana. Y'all break the amble with the banana. Okay, somebody tell me what is the main thing about probability? All the probabilities have to equal what?
1.
And each one has to be between 0 and 1. All right, so what does the first one add up to? 4/4, which is 1. So that one is good. So we're going to take our handy dandy green because I'm on number 30. So this is the last one. Y'all didn't get a trick question on this one. But I'll tell you what the question is. B, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1. Sound like one of them seals. All right. 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 5/14 plus 5/14. You're going to skip this one because it's what? Fractions, and you don't know how to do fractions. So that'd be 2/14 plus 2/14 is what? 4/14, 9/14, 14/14. What's wrong with this one? Why did I just say no?
The negative.
It's got a negative right there. You can't have a negative probability. What about this one?
1.
Doesn't,
Doesn't add up. What about this one? Got to change this one to 15. So that's going to be
5.
5 over 15 and 5 over 15. 5's 10, 11. Yes.
15, yeah, that's.
So that's 4 out of, you type those in. Okay, the one question that I did not read, it's not a trick question, but you got to read the question. Is there causality? Is there a correlation between a vehicle's weight and gas consumption? Not gas mileage.
Yes.
Which is it, positive or negative? Gas mileage is a negative correlation. The gas mileage goes what? Down. Gas consumption
It goes
is
up.
positive. You got to read that question. If it comes up on your test, make sure you read the whole question, because if it says something about gas consumption is positive, gas mileage is negative correlation. That's the one I got wrong this morning because I didn't read the question. But I do have an excuse. I'm what?
You're racist.
I'm male. Males do not read directions. So I'm excused. Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, sure. I don't need GPS. Isn't that the same pink Super Beetle we just passed? Oh, no.
Can you help me with my calculator?
Yeah, I'll help you. Let me shut the recording off. Y'all go ahead and get out of here. Have a good day. We'll go over any homework questions you send to me Thursday. That you send to me.